Hey everyone. All right, so I would have to say that when we are talking about leash manners, probably the number one concern, challenge, issue that comes up that people would like to improve upon is pulling. So yes, pulling. It is definitely a huge point of contention between dogs and humans. It can cause a lot of disagreements, a lot of frustration. But let's kind of talk about what's going on and some troubleshooting of what we can do. So, okay, I get it. Like, it's not preferable, nor is it an enjoyable experience or a comfortable experience when you have a dog that is literally pulling you down the street. So, and dogs can pull pretty much on any type of tool that we put on them. So dogs can pull with a flat collar. Dogs can pull with a martingale collar. Dogs can pull with a harness that clips on the front chest attachment. Dogs can pull with a harness that clips on the back. So pretty much where there's a will, there's a way. And dogs can also pull with wearing gentle leaders or head halties or head collars, something like that. So if a dog is interested in getting somewhere faster, what's the fastest way for them to get there? They move faster. So dogs are not necessarily thinking in terms of, yeah, heck yeah, I'm just gonna drag my human behind me. What fun. So oftentimes dogs are so engaged in their environment and the surroundings and what's going on. They're not engaged with the person that's attached to the other end of the leash, and we just kind of disappear. So dogs are just more engaged with what is going on out here, super interested in everything. So naturally, since they're more engaged with that, if they see something cool they want to investigate, it could be a dog, it could be a squirrel, it could be a person, it could be, heck, a bush or a tree, something that they want to smell, something that piques their interest. Heck yeah, they're going to move faster, and consequently they're going to pull us over to something. So dogs aren't trying to be rude, they're not trying to be alpha, they're not trying to be dominant, they're just being dogs. They're just trying to get to something that they want to investigate or they find interesting quicker. And oftentimes what happens is us as the humans not knowing what to do, we unknowingly and accidentally actually reinforce that very behavior because we just follow our dogs. So our dogs are learning that it's not actually them pulling. So if they see something that they want to go to, all they have to do is just go faster, and consequently the human will also increase their speed too. Or they just flat out forget you're back there and they're just like, I'm gonna do my dog stuff. So let's talk about leash manners. So leash manners actually do not start when you're on the walk. So a lot of dog training and education happens when you're training for the moment, not in the moment. So in previous videos, we have talked about when you're training or introducing or educating on a new skill, or you're adding a new layer to a skill that they already know, we want to start in the least distracting environment first. So that would be in the house where there's not any squirrels or people or other dogs or interesting sights, sounds, smells, or skateboards, bikers, joggers, things like that competing with their attention. So this is where you can work on that engagement with your dog, because one of the keys to leash manners is actually engagement. So can our dog, whether it's cued or uncued, disengage from what's going on out here in the surrounding environment, and can they engage with you? So that's why we're going back to elementary school, actually probably preschool, and we are going to work on eye contact in the home. So whether it's cued, you say your dog's name and they look at you, yes, you mark that, you reward them, cool. Or uncued, they just happen to make eye contact with you, you reward that, yeah. So one of the foundational skills is going to be eye contact, and you want to start least distraction environment and start building on that. I would also do follow the leader game, where you're going to have little cookies, little nuggets, and you're going to drop it down, feed it right by your knee, or you can even take a piece of food and just toss it around. So what you're doing is you're taking the value. So the food is going to be the value, and you are placing the value where you want it to go. So if I want the value to be with me, I'm going to feed directly out of my hand or by my side or in close proximity to me. If I'm wanting to place the value a little bit further away, then I'm going to toss it away. And you know, this is playing follow the leader. So basically, you're encouraging your dog to share space with you without a tether. So you want to do the skill without a tether first, and then we're going to add the tether or the leash. So you want to do that first. And you're not putting any pressure on your dog. So your dog has the choice. But if they do stay in your proximity bubble, hey, it's a good freaking deal for them. You want to know why? Because they're going to get rewards for that. So start in the house first, and you can either do this with the leash or without the leash. So you want to do eye contact. You want to do follow the leader. You want to do scatter feeding or find it. All of those things are going to be extremely, extremely helpful when it comes to working on your dog's leash pulling, because basically all the leash pulling is the dog is just trying to get to something that they find really exciting. But here's the thing, if you can actually throw yourself into the race and be like, hey, I would also like to be considered for the role of being exciting. I might not be as exciting as the squirrel or exciting as the other dog, but you know what? They're out there. I'm here. Why don't you engage with me? Like, I also have things to offer you as well. So engagement is going to be probably the number one thing that in the long run is really, really going to help with leash manner success and pulling, but also letting go of that control. So not using the leash as a control device to try and physically force and place our dogs where we want them to be. Again, you can use the food rewards. Play games with your dog in your space. Bring a toy. Be like, hey, I know there's a squirrel, but I got a toy. I got some food. Let's play a game of touch. Let's play a game of middle. There are all sorts of different cues and behaviors that you can teach your dog, that you can turn them into games. So there's not as much focus and engagement, and it's not 100% out here. And I'm not saying it has to be 100% on you. That is an unrealistic expectation. And frankly, I don't want my dog to be focused on me 100% of the time. That's exhausting. Like, I don't want that responsibility. Like, I want you to be able to go out on your walk and enjoy things, but I also want you to check in with me because you know it's beneficial and you'll get rewards for that. So I want you to check in with me on your own, and I want you to check in with me when I cue you. So I can say your name. I can say a certain word. I can snap my fingers. Snap is not working very well. I can snap my fingers. I can make a sound. The thing is, I just want to be included in your environment. I just want to be a part of everything that you're doing. So I know this seems a little bit weird. It's like, well, why aren't we practicing this stuff while we're out on the walk? Don't worry, my friends, we're going to get there. All I'm saying is let's focus on more attention and focus and eye contact and engagement with you in the house in a less distracting environment. We're going to use that as a foundational skill, and then we're going to start building on top of that. But also keeping our expectations realistic. And truth is, dogs are always going to pull on leash. There's never going to be a perfect walk, or anything like that. And it's unrealistic to expect our dogs to never pull on the leash. At one time, they're going to pull on the leash. It's just a matter of when. But we can also make sure that we are also in the running for being interesting as well. So instead of trying to control our dogs and physically place them, inside or heel, it's something where they want to hang out with us, they want to engage with us, and they're hanging out in our little space bubble. So there's not really that need to pull. Also, put them babies on a longer leash, okay? Not a retractable leash. That's not what we're talking about. I'm talking about a longer leash. So I would say probably minimum 8 feet. I like to put dogs on the longer leashes, so like 15, 20, 30 feet. And then that way I can feed them out, and then when I need them to be closer to me, I can kind of reel them back in, or I can just walk my hands up the leash a little bit. So put those babies on a long leash and let them explore, you guys. I guarantee these tips and tricks might not seem like they're gonna work in the long run, but again, you gotta build that relationship first before you can ask the dogs to do the things that we would like them to do. And you also have to find their motivation and what they were actually work for. So I promise you guys, work on this a little bit and you will see the pulling and your leash manners improve. Promise.